Hey there, welcome back. Happy Friday to everybody. Welcome to artwithkorb.com. I can't find out a way to do my normal little intro on just using YouTube, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time putzing around and learning that. I've got other things I need to do. Talk to you guys is exactly what I'm looking to do, and I'd like to get back to painting a little bit. I've been thinking a lot about what's happening out there and what some of you are doing, and I think that rather than focusing in on specific assignments, perhaps looking at what it is to be an artist and to develop those skills. Purchased a book yesterday. I hope that Amazon ships it to me. What it is to be an artist or something to that degree. Careful, buddy, that is wet paint. Oh, you're going to go around with pink on you. Okay. Anyway, it's... we in the studio at school, we talk about developing these studio habits. It's one of the things on our rubrics. It's how one practices in the studio. Developing craft is number one, and this is from a Harvard University study, and you can find them out on artwithkorb.com under habits. What is it under? It's under standards, goals, and habits. So the 8 studio habits of mind. The first one is developing a craft. Whether it's your drawing abilities or your painting abilities or your sculpting abilities or photography or digital, it's working on developing those crafts. So what are you doing out there right now to develop the craft? Learning to use tools, materials, artistic conventions, and learning to care for tools, materials, and space. The second one is really what we're all doing right now, and that's engaging and persisting. Learning to embrace problems of relevance within the art world and or of personal importance to develop focus, conducive to working and persevering at tasks. And we're all dealing with that right now. How do we persevere with what we're going through right now? How do we engage in that larger world while we're confined to our 4 walls? Number 3 is envision, and that's to learn to picture mentally what cannot be directly observed and imagine possible next steps in making a piece. One of you out there, one of my awesome artists out there, made a sketch, a digital image, and then sent me their photographs of the pieces, and we had a quick little conversation about what's happening with that. Another of you sent me a photograph of your current Fauvist painting. You know who you are. And looking for that feedback and thinking about what you need to do beyond what you're currently doing. And last, another one of you talked about your charcoal drawing and how to handle using that negative space. Should I scumble? Should I hatch? Should I shade? So you're thinking about, you're envisioning what you haven't got yet. Number 4 is express. Learning to create works that convey an idea, a feeling, or personal meaning. One of the things that I do with my work is I think about movement and relationships, whether it's the large painting right behind me or the larger painting behind that. I'm trying to communicate messages, trying to communicate an idea, whether it's, oh, don't touch your face, whether it's something that's bigger than I am, which is pretty much everything in the world, bigger than me, or it's something as simple as the act of making color relationships. What have you got? Come here, come here, come here. What have you got? Nothing? Okay, you got a little fuzz in your face. So what are you trying to express with your artwork? Number 5 is observe. Learning to attend to visual contexts more closely than ordinary looking requires, and thereby to see things that otherwise might not be seen. When we get back in the next couple of weeks or so, I hope, we're going to be doing some of that in our Art Foundations class, where we're going to go outside because it's going to be beautiful when we get back. Hey, welcome to spring. And we're going to be observing nature around us. Painting as well. We're going to get outside and do some plein air painting. And you're going to spend time looking carefully, not just seeing, Or is it seeing, not just looking? Well, it's paying very close attention to what's out there. Number 6 is reflecting. And sometimes this is the hardest thing for people, is learning to think and talk with others about an aspect of one's work or working process, and learning to judge one's own work and working process through the work of others, and the work of others. So what are you doing to think about and reflect on what you're doing? We've been doing this throughout all the time we've worked together, and so I want you to continue thinking about that. How do you reflect on what you're doing? I think now is the absolute perfect time for you to do number 7, and that's stretch and explore. You don't have access to all the materials necessarily that we have in the studio at school, or at your own school, or wherever you're at. So what do you have in your home, in your environment, that you can use and create art, create anything that's not something you'd have normally in the classroom? Perfect example, HD, not Harley Davidson, but you're using objects that are laying around your house that you've always wanted to work with as sculptural pieces. And right now, I've got you as a drawing student, as a digital artist. So how do you use those materials outside of your normal comfort zone? How do you stretch and explore that? Learning to reach beyond one's capacities, to explore playfully without a preconceived plan, and to embrace the opportunity to learn from mistakes. And lastly is number 8, understand art's community, understanding your community. Learning to interact as an artist with other artists, at this point with a very safe distance, being socially, what's the word? Socially separated? Socially distancing, that's right. What have you got, Burke? Hold on a second. What did you get? Hey, let me see. What have you got? What have you got? Oh, good. Okay, it's just his cheese. It's his cheese. Okay, we're good. I'm not editing anything, so thanks for letting me check on my dog. So understanding your arts community. Learning to interact as an artist, to explore playfully, that's the other one. Learning to interact as an artist with other artists in classrooms and local arts organizations and across the art field, and within broader society. Art is in parentheses here, as it can be easily switched with other disciplines like science or history. Learning to interact as an artist with other artists and within broader society. Oh, yeah, I see I did that. I put arts in parentheses at the top of the screen. So this is things like looking at other artists' artwork, reaching out to them, talking with them via email, Skype, whatever we're using right now, and broadening your understanding of the arts community. So what are you doing to develop your craft, to engage and persist, to envision what's not able to be seen, to express yourself and observe, to reflect, to stretch and explore, and to understand the community? We can't right now necessarily in all cases be working for assessment, and really, for me, that's one of the best ways and reasons to make art, is not so that I have to earn a grade per se, and when we get back you'll earn grades of course, but rather to make art for myself. I think about the digital artists who are making an art piece purely for themselves. Did that cause you to stumble because there weren't these pre-planned ideas? For painters and drawing and sculptures, you're making art that's purely for yourself. So think about that. Come here, buddy. So with that, Burke and I are going to say goodbye, and we hope that you've got a lot of thinking to do. For my school district, we start spring break today. Yay, spring break! Woohoo! Punta Cana is closed, as is the rest of the world. But that's okay, because I've got my family and my friends, and my friends are staying socially distanced right now, but we're talking on the internet. So with that, I've got Burke and my wife and my daughter. So that's all I need. We'll talk to you all later. Remember, make art and share it with me and share it with those around you. We'll see you all later. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.